So I bought a new car. Now, before you get worried, it does not mean the van's going anywhere. That is here to stay. But this is my new adventure vehicle, my new daily, and to say I'm excited is a little bit of an understatement. This is my brand new 2022 Toyota Fortuner GX model. I just picked it up today. It's the first time down the coast. And yeah, I thought I'd just create a video to share why I bought the new car, and also, I guess it kickstarted a brand new series of the Fortuner build. So I'm very excited, super keen to take you along, and I guess we just jump into it straight away. So this is my first brand new car, and it kind of still feels weird that it's mine. It doesn't feel like mine, it just feels like I've got it for the day and I'll have to drop it back later. But it is mine, and it's kind of exciting. I've put a couple 100Ks on it already in the time that I've had it, and it drives beautifully, and I'm pretty excited about the plans with it. And I think we just kick it off with why I bought a new car in general, not specifically this one, but what made me start looking and make this decision. The first and the biggest reason for me to buy a new car was for reliability. I wanted a vehicle that I could basically just jump in whenever and go to wherever I needed to go without having to worry about prepping for the trip, breaking down as I'm going, not rocking up on time to jobs because the car's broken down, or even worse, the car's in the garage and I can't actually get to a job. And then of course, coming home factor as well, where I know I can get home without without a vehicle ending up on a tow truck home and worrying about that cost involved too. The second thing being fuel economy. The van runs at 20 litres per 100 on a good day. This thing in the 200K that I've done is roughly sitting around 9 litres per 100, which is a massive difference and contributes a lot to cost of a trip too. So that's another factor of why I wanted to buy a new car. Thirdly is comfort. Now the van is reasonably comfortable for someone being 6'4", but once again, it's not comfortable at the same time, if you get what I mean. I've made it as comfortable as possible, but it has its limitations, and for long drives it can be hard, especially in hot weather, because the air conditioner doesn't work and I can't be bothered fixing it, to be honest. So this is absolutely luxurious in my opinion. Some people have complained about the drive in this being rough to other SUV full drives. I'm guessing they're comparing it to a Prado or a 300 series or something like that. But this, for me personally, from what I've come from and what I've owned in the past, this is absolutely beautiful to drive, super smooth, and I don't know what they're talking about. So if that's sort of where you've come from, you're gonna absolutely love this for sure. A couple decisions that I made in the end to get a new car was for seating capacity. The van's of course only a 2-seater, so myself and one other person. And then also the towing capability as well. The van could tow if I was to put a tow bar on it, but I'd hate to know the fuel economy then. And also it's not fast enough to tow up hills, so I'd be sitting probably at 40Ks up some hills, which would, if not less to be honest, which would not be fun whatsoever. So being able to have more than one friend come along with me, and also that's very important for shoots. I can actually have 4 other people with me instead of having multiple other vehicles. And also being able to tow. So it opens up a few possibilities now to work with a few more clients in the, I guess, camping and outdoor range and caravans and camper trailers. So that's another part that got me excited in buying the new vehicle. When I started looking at getting a brand new vehicle, this wasn't my first point of call. I was actually looking at the brand new Suzuki Jimneys. I absolutely love them to bits. I took one on an adventure up to the Flinders Ranges back in 2019 when they sort of first came out, and I absolutely loved it. And I was sort of surprised how much room there was as a driver inside of it for someone tall like myself. However, after looking into it a little bit more and adding up the benefits of buying something like that, there wasn't enough to justify it. Yes, I was going to get better fuel economy. It was going to be a lot more comfortable and reliable than what I have currently with the van, but there was no extra seating capacity once the back seats are folded down, and it's kind of useless vehicle with them folded up. And then the other problem was the towing side of things. They're a small vehicle, they're not going to tow much. So that's when I started looking at another option, and that's when I came across the Fortuner itself. Now, once I got to the point of looking at the Fortuner, I honestly didn't compare it to many other options on the market in this price range and size range. It sort of stood out to me. I was pretty happy with it. I did a little bit of research just to make sure there was no major problems with it, and all I could find was a DPF issue that was getting resolved really quickly through Toyota and the warranty, and they sort of fixed the problem in this newer model anyway. So, of course, I did look at a few other options, but this sort of caught my eye and just made an easy decision. Luckily for me, after calling around, it was a 6 to 10 month wait to get a brand new vehicle of, I guess, your choosing. I kept calling around a little bit more, and luckily the guys at Murray Bridge Toyota had a GX model coming in that someone had dropped out of. I wasn't too fussy on color, and I mean, you can't really go wrong with the white anyway. So I bit the bullet and I got it. Don't get me wrong, I love older vehicles, and I was looking at a new one, well, a new old one, when I got back home. I was looking into 60s quite, I guess, what would you call it, thoroughly. And I did actually go have a look at a couple, but in the end, I was going to end up buying a vehicle that was going to need some work still. It's buying an old vehicle once again. Even as much as work you put into it, it's still an old vehicle, you're still gonna have problems. And I didn't want to end up with two vehicles that I was rotating between being on the road and being in the garage, being on the road and being in the garage. So yeah, I sort of got deterred like that. I will one day own a 60, but not just right now. Of course, there's upgrades coming to this because right now it's a very stock and basic vehicle, and I do need to turn it into a touring vehicle that's also a camera rig that can take me on all my adventures and get me to places that sometimes are going to be remote. However, the build is going to be very, I guess the word may be basic, and it's not going to be a unique, iconic build that stands out from the crowd like the van has. There's intentions of having this vehicle feature in commercial shoots as well for products that I put on it, and also others that I either tow behind it or whatever may come of it. So that's why it's not going to be a vehicle that will stand out from the crowd. However, that does not mean it's not going to be cool, fun, but more importantly, it's going to be very practical. So I'm going to take you guys along for the ride in this new build series of the Fortuner. And I'm very excited for that because I get an opportunity to actually showcase the products that I love and want in this vehicle with you guys, that you can either do to your own Fortuner if you've got one or planning on getting one, but also other vehicles. Now that not everything has to be custom like it was for the van, I'm able to showcase those products that may be suited for either this vehicle, but also the vehicle that you may have as well. So it's going to be great to be able to take you guys along for the ride for this journey and see what I guess I turn this vehicle into. Thought it's also a perfect opportunity to announce that myself and the van are going to be at the Forward Drive and Adventure Show here in Adelaide once again this year. It's a perfect opportunity to come down and have a chat. I've definitely got some stories to tell. You've probably got some questions to ask, maybe relating this, maybe relating my travels after spending 10 months on the road in the van. But come on down. There's got to be plenty of other awesome creators there that you know of. Very excited to catch up with everyone again down there, and awesome to see you guys down there as well, and appreciate the support. We will catch you in the next one, and I'm guessing that might just be the first upgrades to this. If not, it might be an adventure video. Catch you on the next one.